What is going on, everybody? How we doing today? Hold on, I just gotta adjust my microphone real quick. Push some of the fucking water bottles out of the way. I've been I've been working out more lately, so I've been drinking a lot of water, and because of that, I'll just be like I'll be editing videos, or um I'll be fucking playing AOE or something, and I'll just be fucking slamming waters, and I'll forget to pick them up. I'll forget to clean them up. Better throw them in my fucking thing right there. Anyway, one more. Got one more. There we go. There we go. How we doing today? Everybody should be able to hear me just fine. Yeah, it should be good. So it is Wednesday. All right, I've been streaming on Wednesdays for a little while now, and it's just gonna be a chill stream. I've been like Fish Tank kind of took me out of commission insofar as a lot of ideas for streams that I have and stuff like that. With Fish Tank, I didn't put any thought, any effort, really anything into. I just didn't put a ton of effort, energy, anything like that into it. Oh, that's weird. My multi-stream chat is not working, but my YouTube stream chat is working. That makes me wonder what the deal is. But anyway, um, what's going on, Corner Mouse? What's going on, Joe Rogers? What's going on, Zachary Vered? What's going on, Neon? Yes, Zachary. Thank you very much. You're a lifesaver for that whole thing. There must be something going on with my multi-stream. Maybe I'm banned off Twitch or something like that. I don't know. I feel like I would have gotten an email if I was banned off Twitch. Yeah. I feel like I would have gotten an email if I was banned off Twitch. But I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and pin this message. Of course. Let's see what happens when I go to Twitch. I'm probably gonna have to sign in. Yeah, I had to sign in. Uh, uh, yes. No, of course. Um, Got to do the fucking bullshit with my email address. Oh, we're sending a 6-digit code. We're sending a 6-digit code. You gotta do that shit. Oh. Excuse me. Um. Sorry, I just want to make sure here. I just want to make sure. Yeah, it's not sending the code, I don't believe. Final de semana na favela. I have a new chatter. What the hell's a new chatter? It's just fucking weird. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. It's not sending the fucking thing. I'm gonna try resend. I just want to try and figure out what's going on with my shit, you know. Um. Anyway, I'm I'm a chill guy. Nice crucifix. Thank you very much, Corner Mouse. Thank you very much, man. People really think I'm Jewish. I couldn't tell you why. I could not tell you why. They really think I'm fucking Jewish for some reason. And like I know I told people on Fish Tank, hey, yeah, I'm Jewish, haha. But it's so funny to see people who just don't understand. Like we're Sam Hyde fans. We're Fish Tank fans. You would think that we would understand. You would think we would understand. I'll try on my phone. I'll also check Twitter as well. I'll check Twitter. You'd think people would understand when somebody's just fucking around. When someone's just dicking around. You would think that people would get that, but I guess not. I guess not. You know what I'll do? Yeah, no, I'm live on Twitch. It's just yeah, I'm live on Twitch. It's all good. It's just for some reason it's not the multi-stream chat is not showing up. I have no clue what that could be. There's probably some weird shit having to do with it. It said there was a new chatter or something like that, and I would assume that means I would assume that means like there's a new chat function or feature or something like that, but it's just weird. It's just weird, you know. Anyway, um but yeah, I've watched clips because I don't watch anything all day. Yeah. I didn't watch as much Fish Tank this season as well. You know, I find it easier when I have something that I'm trying to distract myself from. Like I shit you not, like I find it easier when I'm at work to be like, all right, I'll do a little bit of work, do a little bit of this and that and the other thing, and then turn around and fucking um like for a minute or two whip out my phone and be like, what's this person up to? What's that person up to? Haha, oh man, right? But when I'm not doing that, I found it a little bit tougher. Plus, I think the cast really added to that. I just did not care for this cast. I got to be honest with you. I still don't even follow a ton of them on social media. You know, I think I follow Mizzy on Instagram because we were told to for a gaslight. Bert followed me. Fucking Bert followed me on Twitter with his new Twitter. So I was like, all right, whatever. I'll fucking follow this guy. Who cares? Um, Luke followed me and I followed him back. Other than that, Job. I followed Job, I'm pretty sure, just because I was like, fuck it, whatever, who cares? But like overall, I'm just not in the ecosystem for this season. I got to be honest with you, you know, and it's weird because like I forgot that after each season there's this weird little ecosystem thing that goes down where people are paying attention to each other and they're doing a bunch of stuff and it's no, it's just so weird to see from an outside perspective, meaning like I don't care about it like that. All this beef between people and stuff like that that apparently is going down, and I'm just like, I had no clue about that. I had no fucking clue about that. Oh shit, what's happening? What? Huh? What? 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 But yeah. Anyway, hey coach, I'm gonna start training in boxing and hopefully compete in an amateur bout here in Canada. Any tips, cardio tips for people who can't run outside during the winter? Yeah, get over it and run outside during the winter. You know, I understand if it's like the snow is up to here. You know, um, like there's nothing better for your cardio than running. It's just a fact of the matter. It's just a fact of the matter. And don't worry, I'm gonna give you a more satisfactory answer, but I'm just explaining this because I think it bears saying. There is nothing better for your cardio than running. The way that I see it, maybe wrestling a little bit, but even then, it's like, is it? Is it? You know. Um, so if you can run, definitely run. Now you have people who are like, it's bad for your joints, but it's bad for your joints though, and it's not good for this and that and the other thing. I think those people are nerds. I think the people who say running is bad for you are the same people who say sit-ups are bad for you. Where like, um, there's this dude I figured out about him recently. His name is the armchair martial artist. What the fuck? The armchair violence. Armchair violence. I dig his stuff, even though he seems to be a bit of a redditor. He makes fun videos to watch, and he talks about a lot of the stuff that I will talk about. Um, and he ended up talking about like the attitude that gives the attitude or the outlook that a lot of people have where they'll take a simple thing and make it into a more complicated thing. And it's kind of the same as like legalese or philosophy texts and stuff like that, where if you could answer something in 5 words or less, that makes it a little bit too accessible for the average person to be able to pick up and be good at right away. So you're going to end up complicating by forcing there to be some kind of ramifications that you have to go by, or maybe not ramifications. There's just certain things that you have to adhere to. You know, it's like I tried to post on the philosophy subreddit once, and they said that it has to be written in a certain format that is like completely and totally useless for conveying actual ideas. It's just they want that format because they don't want the average person being able to walk in and be like, here's what I say. You know. Um, and it ends up being the same thing a lot of the time with martial arts as well as conditioning, where you'll have some guy, he did some kind of certification where he studied for months and months and months. And when he did that certification, he had to pay $1,000 to be able to do it. And now he's walking around like, fuck, this wasn't really that useful to me, if we're being honest here. Somebody who doesn't have my certification can easily learn all the stuff that I learned through trial and error or just through like common sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and I'm going to tell people, no, no, no. You see, you don't want to do that because me, the guy with the certification, I know things and I know that You aren't supposed to do this, so you should do that instead. That's what happens a lot with exercise as well as martial arts. Um, it was I believe what's his face one eye dude, one eye Michael Bisping. Michael Bisping's boxing coach was giving him shit because his strength and conditioning coach was like, "Nah, don't go for running," and his boxing coach was like, "You know what the problem with running is? Running's free." Which means if Michael Bisping just goes for a run, he's not going to be paying Mr. Strength and Conditioning coach. Now, I'm going off on a tangent here, all right, as I'm known to do. I apologize for that. I apologize. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. My bad. But like overall I'm saying if you can just bundle up and you can go for a run in the snow that's going to be safe, meaning you're not going to be slipping and sliding all over ice, or you're not going to get nailed by a car or a snowplow or anything like that. Definitely, 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 definitely do it. Definitely, definitely do it. Okay. However, now to actually answer your question, all right, to actually answer the question that you really asked me, because that's one thing I hate is when people are like, "Oh, well, I'm not going to answer your question. I'm going to tell you something completely different." Um, there are a lot of different exercises you can do to try and help with cardio. Cardio is not just how quickly you can keep up with your breathing, it's also how attuned your heart and certain other areas of your body are to having to kick up and then slow down, kick up and then slow down. And hit high intensity interval training is one of the best things you can do. You can do it for 25 minutes, and you can have a circuit set up where you have a bunch of high energy drills, a bunch of fast twitch muscle drills that you have to do, like medicine ball slams, battle rope. The battle rope is, you remember, you see when MMA first hit the scene hard, you saw dudes with the ropes, doing that. They're sitting here doing this, they're doing that, um, like box jumps, push-ups, tons of different things, right? Basically anything that is anaerobic exercise, meaning it is not rhythmic with your breathing. Your breathing is not going to be rhythmic while you do it. Um, Anything that's like that, you can set up circuits and stuff like that. Have 3, 4, maybe 5 if you want to go crazy. Exercises that you go in between, right? You just keep cycling through, cycling through, cycling through. Um, you want to have about 20. I'm not saying you have to have 25 minutes of it right away, right? You might start off at like 10 minutes of it. Have rounds where it's like 3 minutes at a time, right? A minute per, or like 45 seconds per, or whatever. Um, but overall, you want to be working up to a point where you can get to about 25 minutes of doing those circuits and shit like that. If that makes sense, right? I'm explaining it a little bit weird because it's a very good question. It almost kind of deserves its own video. I mean, it does deserve its own video, and there's been people who've made videos about them before. I'm actually making a video about how to become more athletic. I just finished up the narration for it a couple of days ago. I'm going to go ahead and start throwing that together soon, but maybe I'll do one for flight conditioning as well. I'm not saying you need to go 25 minutes straight with those circuits. I'm saying like you want 25 minutes total of doing the circuit. You go 3 minutes on, 1 minute off, 3 minutes on, 1 minute off, that type of stuff until you can get up to 25 minutes. You can do it that way, But like overall, when it comes to fight conditioning, specifically for a boxing or a kickboxing match, and then MMA as well, but MMA has a couple other features that you add onto it too. Um, you're trying your best to make your heart rate used to having a kick up for a few seconds at a time and then come back down for a few seconds at a time. Kick back up, come back down. Kick back up, come back down. Kick back up, down. Down, up, right? You literally want your heart and your body to be attuned to that because that's the pace that you're going to be going at. You're going to go jab, cross, hook. All right, get the hell out of here. Time to rest. Time to rest. Double jab, cross. All right, time to rest. Time to rest. Uh-oh, he's coming at me. He's coming at me. All right, get out of here. Time to rest. Time to rest. Time to rest. That's how your fight conditioning should be. That's how your body should be attuned to being at that point, you know? um Damn. I have a few songs stuck in my head. I've been listening to like practically nothing but like Latin shit lately. It's a fun genre. It's a fun genre. And I'm also trying to get better at what am I trying to get better at? Um what am I trying to get better at? What am I trying to get better at? What am I trying to get better at? Oh yeah, duh. Portuguese. Trying to get better at Portuguese. I read something that had me thinking about something else, and that's why I was like, but I'm trying to get better at Portuguese because when I almost said grandmother, geez, when my mother-in-law comes here, I want to be able to actually have conversations with her. That'd be nice, you know. Um, anyway, Scott, show Coke. Fuck him. I have a Coke over there. Anyway, um, too much autism in the MDE verse. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh look. I love the fans. I am an MDE fan myself, even though I've been involved with them for a while. There's kind of two Scotts. There's the Scott that's like, hey, apparently I've been brought into this MDE thing. You know, maybe not as like explicitly like I'm a member of MDE, but they keep bringing me in to do shit. You know, why don't I try and get good at that? Right? Why don't I try and pull my weight and not just be like the awkward fucking boxing guy? But then there's also the piece of me that's like, yeah, I'm actually a really big fan of these guys, you know. Um, and I get it, I get it. Zachary Verrett asked, "Do you have access to a treadmill?" Oh yeah, yeah. That's another thing too. Like treadmills are so cheap now. Like you can get a treadmill for like $100. I'm looking into getting one myself. I'm sure it's not going to be the best treadmill you've ever had, right? And that kind of makes me nervous, if I'm being honest with you, because I have a family member. He's a distant family member, but he's family nonetheless. And granted, he was elderly, right? He was elderly, but he wasn't like inactive. He wasn't decrepit or anything like that. He went to the gym, he hops on the treadmill, and he ends up slipping, and that's how he died. So there's a piece of me that's like, okay, maybe I'll run on this thing because I know how to fucking slap out. I know how to fall suddenly before I even know that it's happening and not go whoop on the ground with my head. But I don't know. Maybe I'll tell the wife, hey, don't run on this. Walk, fucking walk on it. You know. Um, but yeah, you never know. You never know. Yeah, and Neon also said stationary bike. Stationary bike is good too. The key to the stationary bike, as well as the treadmill, and honestly, I'd rather do this on a stationary bike than a treadmill because anything where it's not you increasing the speed, it's the machine increasing the speed, and you have to keep up. That's not good. I don't like that. I don't like that. Again, that's how you get a situation where you slip and fall and you don't get back up. But a stationary bike, if you can get one of those again for like $100, they're like so cheap. I have one sitting right over there. I just don't like having to sit on my ass. That's the only thing is it gets uncomfortable trying to go for an hour on the bike and your ass is fucking hurting. Um, but like what you do is you keep it on a low setting, meaning low resistance, for say 10 to 15 seconds. And then at the end of that 10 to 15 seconds, you crank it up to a high. And I mean, not like so high you can barely move, but a higher resistance setting, and you really try and beast it, right? You don't go at a pace and then you crank up the intensity and then you get to go slower because it's harder. No, you're trying to beast that shit. You're trying to go even harder than when you were in your rest because that's the way that high intensity interval training works, or hit. Um, is your rest period, your period where you're supposed to be relaxed, is not a complete and total like stop. It's not a stop. You're still going. You're just not going as hard. And that's why wind sprints are a thing. And that's why I'm telling you to run. Because if you can do wind sprints, that's some of the best shit you can do. Is, 10 to 15 second jog, and then a 10 to 15 second sprint, and then a 10 to 15 second jog, so on, so forth, so on, so forth. Um, but yeah, just got off one for 1 hour, fucks your ass up 100%. Oh yeah, dude, dude, it'll fuck you right in the ass, dude. Yeah, I hate that shit so much. Can you replace the seat like a regular bike or nah? Get a gel seat. I mean, I don't think you could with mine. You know, I don't think you could with mine, but you could get a gel seat. I'm sure that might be a little bit better. You know, that might be a little bit better, I suppose. You know, we'll see. We'll see. You know, I'm in Canada and the winter is mild so far. Yeah, we had a down here in Massachusetts. We've had a pretty good winter so far. It rained. It's been raining the last 3 days, and today it must have been like 50 something degrees. It's in the middle of November. November, what the fuck? It's in the middle of December, and we're still getting certain days where it's like 50 degrees out. You know, um, usually growing up, it would always start snowing in November. You know, that's when you'd have your first little dusting. And then December is when you really start getting walloped. You know, but the last like 5 to 7 years have been pretty damn good. They've been pretty damn good, all things considered. You know, all things considered, it's been pretty good. I remember the last major snowstorm we had up here was in like 2015, and that was such an awful one. That was like the storm to end all storms, knock on wood, because we didn't have another like crazy one since then. It's been a long ass time, almost 10 years now that I think of it. And that was so bad that it was June. I remember driving around in June and there were still snowbanks that were like as high as buildings. And it's because the snow would melt on the outside, but the snow on the inside is still mad fucking cold. So it's a situation where it's like it's melting on the outside, but then it's refreezing as it like goes down, you know, and because of that it's taken way too long. Man. It's been a cold fall here. Two storms already in November. Winter probably going to be brutal. Ah, man, that sucks, Zachary. That sucks, man. You know, tomorrow's going to be like 30 degrees. Eesh, 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 eesh. That is I ain't looking forward to that. I am not looking forward to that. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No. No, 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 sir. You know. Anyway. Uh, Uh, you have over a foot of snow in your yard. Sounds like a you problem, Neon. Sounds like a you problem. Oh man. I just want to check something out real quick. I'm gonna check something out real quick, and then I'm gonna go ahead and you know. Oh man, that's crazy. All right, so we could either do. I'm gonna give you guys a choice. I'm gonna give you guys a choice. All right. Again, no, my stream chat just does not seem to want to work. I don't know why. Um, hmm. You can now reply to Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook messages and multi-stream chat. Okay, that is, yeah, the multi-stream just doesn't want to work. I have no fucking clue why. I gotta figure that out. I gotta figure out what that is. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. Okay. I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. We can either do Duolingo right here, or we can watch Gracie Street Self Defense VHS 1994 Jiu Jitsu Basic Headlocks Shoulder Grabs. We can. Now this is a 48-minute long video. I'm not saying we're gonna watch all of it. I'm saying that maybe we take a little look. Maybe we take a little look at it. You know, we see what they were teaching back in 19 whatever, right? If you want Duolingo, put 1 in the chat. If you want Gracie Street Self Defense, put a 2 in the chat, and we will go ahead and we'll do that. You know. All right. Anyway, 2. All right. We only got 1, 2 in the chat, so fuck it. I don't care. We'll go for it. Oh, never mind. We got 2. Anyway, so FBI warning. Fuck the feds. Fuck the feds. All right. I'm. I figure it's probably a good time to tell you guys. I've been working on and I've talked about this before, but I've been working on dude. People keep messaging me. God damn it. God damn it. I gotta put it on whatever it's called. All right. Anyway, um, um, I'm gonna be doing basically my own equivalent of this, and what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be putting together techniques that are specifically designed to help you win a street fight against an untrained individual. Something where if you watch this enough times and you maybe practice a little bit, you might be a little bit better off. You might be a little bit better off when it comes to having to protect yourself if you've never done any kind of martial art in your life, or if the martial arts you've done are like bullshit, or maybe you did them so long ago. Um, and the difference between this and what I'm gonna do is I'm willing to bet that this is a situation where they're gonna be giving you moves that are like hyper specific, and these moves are gonna have like multiple little things. Like for instance, the headlock right here, the headlock. They're gonna probably be like, you can grab his nuts. You can give him an old dick fondle, and then you can pick him up and slam him, or because there's no slams in jujitsu, you can take them down with a you just fucking fall that way, right? Um, Chances are they're gonna be telling you stuff in this that are not actually good for like somebody who has no fucking clue about what they're doing, you know. What my shit is for someone who has no idea what's going on, you know. And because that's who I want to help. I don't need to I don't need to help martial artists. Martial artists can fight. Some of them can fight better than me. Not many of them. Not many of them. But a few. Every once in a while, you get a guy that's better than me. Every once in a while. Um, but yeah, I want to help people. Bottom line, you know. And plus, if I can make a little bit of money too, that's nice. But overall, I'm just trying to help people who don't have the ability, because my gym is over $100 a month, and that's extremely cheap. That is like as cheap as it gets. I've never seen a place under $150 a month. And $150 is like that it's not like I've seen places that are like, oh, it's $150. No, it's like 175 minimum, if we're being honest here. But just for safety, I'll say 150, right? And again, that's on the cheap side for a lot of other gyms, is 175 a month. Fucking, and it varies place to place as well. It varies place to place, but you get what I'm saying. You know, not everybody has money for it, is what I'm trying to say. Also, I just realized I should probably, so you guys can hear. Oh boy. All right, we don't need one that's that much. All right. Gracie, Street Self-Defense. Volume 3, Strikes, Headlocks, Weapon, Gun. I can only imagine how good that gun was going to be.
Of the basics of Gracie Jiu-Jitsu instructional series, along with the free bonus tape, How to Handle Stand-Up Aggression.
Is this a Brazilian or an Indian? Please, sir. Please, sir. How can he pull the gun? How can he pull the gun? But how can he pull the gun? It is against the rules. How can he pull the gun?
Inspired hundreds of students to write me requesting this series on street self-defense. In these tapes, I'll show you.
Hold on. So, one thing real quick. I can tell a Brazilian from an American, right? Even if it's like a Brazilian who was born here, right? It like do you see the look in his eyes, right? Do you see the sort of just like do this to your screen, right? Do that to your screen and just look at the eyes. There's just something about the eyes there where it's like Brazilians, their eyelids are just lower, and it's not because they're like Asian or anything like that. There's just something about them where their eyes are just like the basic jiu-jitsu. We will be doing the basic jiu-jitsu. We will be open the guard. We will open the guard, and then we will pass the guard. We will do a toreando, like It's just that they're like that, and it's so weird because you can have someone who was born in Brazil and then someone who was born in America, and the only thing separating them is just geography. That's it. Like for all intents and purposes, this person is Brazilian. They were just born in Massachusetts, but just the look in the eye is so much different. It's crazy.
How to handle
Like
real-life
just
threatening
look.
attacks using our proven jiu-jitsu techniques and prepare you for the violent streets of the 90s. In this tape, you learn how to
The
defend
violent
yourself from the
streets of the
punch,
'90s.
the tackle, a variety of headlocks, and guns.
There's just something hilarious to me about that. The violent streets
Another
of the
very
90s.
common aggression from a person at this distance is when the bad guy swings a punch at you. That's what you want to do.
Oh,
Initially
oh,
block
you see, this is Hoist right here. I don't know which Gracie this is, but this is Hoist. And look at that fucking punch. That was crazy.
with the arm this way.
Okay,
When the
we'll
bad guy
go back,
swings a
right?
punch
We'll go
at you.
back.
That's what you want to do. When they initially block with the
Oh.
arm this way. You want to block. Both hands should come up, even if he just swings the punch with one hand. Because if he fails the punch with one hand, he's going to want to swing the second hand. And by bringing both hands up, you're automatically blocking both sides.
You see,
Regardless of which hand he punches.
see, there's nothing wrong with this, right? I am gonna treat this like every other time that I watch like a video like this. I am gonna critique it, and there's nothing wrong with this. The only thing I'd say is that I'm not gonna wait for that dude to be like, oh, coming forward to be like, haha, you know. And the reason why I say that is because that's what this guy is teaching right now. Somebody's sitting at home watching this, like, oh man, I could do this too. I could, oh, dude, that doesn't even look hard. All I got to do is this. If somebody is moving their arm forward already, it's too late. It's too late. You either A, have to cover up, which the average person is not just going to be able to do that. They're not going to have the presence of mind, the consciousness, right, to answer the phone, to slick the hair back or anything like that, right? Or you have to get the hell out of the way, which they're a little bit more likely to be able to move out of the way, but even then, you're still cutting it real close when someone's already starting to move forward. What it needs to be is either A, before this dude starts moving, you have to make the decision that you're going to be the one to initiate the aggression so that you don't have it initiated on you. So that you can actually control the situation a little bit better, right? And that's one of the biggest things you can do is get over the idea of like, oh, but I can't hit first. But I'm not going to be the one to throw the first punch. Throw the first punch. Do it. I'm not saying specifically to wallop somebody. If you have to, you have to. And you should consult a lawyer to figure out what is legal in your area. But in terms of just initiating the aggression with something like this, yeah, do that 100%, you know, because what's going to happen is someone's going to be right here and you're going to go, you're going to put arms here and they're going to try and throw punches at that point, but they're not going to be able to. Even if they reach back, your arm is just going to follow them back and they're not going to be able to move forward. Now, the other time is you should be watching everything. You shouldn't be looking at this dude square in the eye. You should be like going down, around, everything, like paying attention to everything. So when you see him with a balled up fist and you see him start to do this, that's when you know, oh, okay, right? You cannot wait and be like, whoo, like that. That's not going to work. It's just not going to work, you know?
As I come up with both hands. The idea is to bring your hand right here at this point, slightly around your wrist, so that you don't have to force his arms down. Instead, the angle of the arm is what makes it difficult for him to get to my face. I'm not forcing the arm, I'm just angling my arm slightly this way so that it fits right here. That's what I'm looking for. That's the move I want to use, right here. One. From this position, I want to wrap his arm over and control right under the bicep and hold the elbow. Step to his side and hold him by the waist. Step in front of him. Again, I'm very relaxed at this position so my hip can come across very easily. From here, I'll put the head down, throw him, and either complete with that arm lock here or use a strike or an elbow hit, whatever.
You see, and again, like, a lot of the people who watch this stuff, a lot of the people who would buy these things back in the day were people who they didn't have the time, energy, or money to be doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or whatever it was they happened to pick up. And because of that, they try to compensate with these kinds of videos. And that's what I was talking about with what I'm trying to put together for my online course. Is I'm trying to give you things that are going to be on the easier side for you to remember. A lot of it's just conceptual. A lot of it's just stand here, take a step forward, take a step back, put your hands up. That's what a lot of it is. There doesn't have to be a, okay, you're gonna catch the punch, you're gonna come around here, all right, and then you're gonna hit a hip toss. That's not, no, you know. And the way he shows you this too, right? It kind of implies that he is trying to make it easier for someone who doesn't already know it to do it, because you see how slow he goes. Hold on.
Step to the side and hold him by the waist.
You see?
Step in front of him. Again, I'm very relaxed at this position, so my hip can come across very easily. From here, I'll put the head down, throw him, and either complete with that arm lock here.
You see, the way he went through that, it wasn't like he was trying to show somebody who already knows how to do it so he doesn't have to be, like, very meticulous, you know? Me personally, when I'm showing something and I know that everybody else knows a certain piece, I'm going to glaze over it a little bit. I'm going to gloss over it because I'm going to be like, all right, everybody already knows this. I taught this to them last week, right? I don't need to show them every little minute piece of this hip toss here. They know how to do it. I'm going to focus on the things that they don't already know how to do, like everything that came before and then maybe after this. But the way he showed that hip toss was as though he was trying to show it to somebody who doesn't really know. So it's like, who is this for? You know, you know.
Or use a strike or an elbow hit, whatever. Once again, that's the move. From here, I'm gonna wrap the arm, step to the side and hold his waist. Step in front, bring my hip across.
And even then, there's also easier takedowns you can go for from there. I'll show you a point because it looks like they're about to show it again, right?
Once I wrap this, I could go over the arm or under the arm.
You see, I don't know exactly where he's going with this. I would assume he's going to show the same thing, though. But there's plenty of other takedowns that you can do with this. One of them is you can rip the guy that way. So what you're doing is you're going to rotate in this direction, because what's going to happen is he's going to end up running over your leg, which is going to, knock it out from underneath him while he's accelerating into that spot. And because of that, he's going to end up falling over and you're going to end up on top of him. You could even, in this case, you don't even necessarily have to keep hold of that arm. You can take this arm away, body lock here, lift up, and put him down, right? You want to be very careful slamming somebody. Not that slams are even that effective. Slams are overrated. But, just trying to be as careful as you can, right? If you got to slam them, you got to slam them, but just be careful. Those are two things that are much, much easier to learn, much easier to get than this hip toss that he's doing.
And then hip comes across, and he falls over.
There's a reason why you don't really see throws outside of judo, which is an art that prioritizes them. You that's just about the only thing you have in judo is some kind of throw or trip or reap or something like that, a sweep. You don't see throws like that very often outside of judo because they're just weird to do without a gi, and even with the gi on, they can be a bit of a pain in the ass to try and get down. You'd rather shoot in for a takedown or just hit something else, But with this, it's what's the point? Who are you teaching this to?
You see this from this side, please.
How did my interview go with Bert? I didn't do an interview with Bert. Should I do one?
Again, you could go over the arm or under the arm. Step in front of him, bring your hip across, and as you
can
put
hear
your
these
head
guys
down,
breathing into the mic a little bit.
But you can now complete with a strike.
Not that I'm much better, right? Okay.
So you should learn to be comfortable with this move, and just hang it here for a little bit. It's okay. step in
It's
front,
okay.
bring the hip, head down.
Ah, okay.
Ramming you like here, and then bring back,
Oh,
you take a step
okay.
or something like this. Someone wants to tackle.
I just want to see you.
Another common attack is if the person wants to tackle you by ramming you
Hold
like
on,
this and
Lexi.
trying to come with a headbutt or something like this towards your upper body.
Nobody.
So the movement.
Hold on. I'm just gonna say right away. He just said somebody is attacking you and they might headbutt you. Uh oh. So
Another common attack is if the person wants to tackle you by ramming you like this and trying to come with a headbutt or something like this towards your upper body. So
that's how you break your spine. We watched a scare tactic video in high school. I played 2 years of football, and each year we had to watch this same video. It was on neck injuries, because if you run full speed at someone with your head down like this and you collide into them, what's going to happen is your head is going to decelerate rapidly, and your body is not going to be decelerating rapidly. Your body is still going to keep going, because the only thing your body is in contact with is your neck, which is then in contact with your head. Your head stopped, your body has not. So what happens is your spine, your neck, literally is crushed between your head and your body. And that is how a lot of neck injuries, that's how a lot of paralysis situations end up occurring in football players, is they end up tackling with their head down. They lead with their head in that way. And because of that, we were told, if you're going to tackle somebody, you still change levels, but you don't come down like that. You come down like this, because at least your head is just going to get pushed that way, which is a lot safer for it than getting crushed in between your head and your shoulders. So even this right here is like, what are they training for? Well, like, that's really weird. You know, I've never seen an untrained person think maybe I should headbutt somebody by lowering my body and running into them, you know, and that's just such a weird thing. It's a weird thing to hear from a Gracie, from a Gracie specifically. You know, I forget which one this is. I don't know if this is Alio or some shit like that, or fucking I don't even know, dude. I know who a couple of them are. I could give a shit about the rest, all right? But it's just such a weird thing to hear from one of them.
the movement is to take a step back and brace him by the shoulders. From here, the back knee will come straight into the guy's face. That's the idea. So I want to block and then bring the knee up. Once again. I'm going to brace him here with this and then bring the knee up.
Okay, so in theory, I don't have an issue with this. However, theory does not always equal out to reality. What I don't like about it is that he's using his hands on his shoulders. I don't like that, because what happens if and when you slip off? It's really, really hard to control yourself in a fight. It's even harder to control the other guy in a fight. So there's a chance that if some guy did decide he was going to try and run at you like that for whatever reason, I don't know why, you end up putting your hands down and then they slip off, and then he ends up, bang, running into you. So I don't really like that. What I do like instead, and this has happened to me before, the one metal show I went to, I used this on somebody. You get underhooks, where instead of having the hands here, you take the hands, you put them under here, and you catch this guy's shoulders in here, in the crook of your elbow, okay? If you get one of them, you're good. If you get two of them, you're especially good, okay? And what you can do from there is you can sprawl, or you can go into a front headlock position. There's so many options that you have from the underhooks here. But here it's like, okay, this seems like it's just some kind of weird like little bar fight thing where it's like, yeah, you know, wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be cool if some guy ran at me like that and I was like, yeah, and then I kneed him in the head? Yeah, that'd be really cool. It'd be real cool. It wouldn't work like this wouldn't really work that way, though. I got to be honest with you, you know. There's ways obviously to make it work. And like I said, I used what I just described at a metal show. I'm not a guy who wants to do a bunch of moshing and stuff like that. I was at this show because my brother brought me. It was a good show. I had a good time. But I turn around and there's this dude running towards me. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And instinct just kicked in. And I ended up catching an underhook on the guy and then an overhook. And I ended up hitting an ice cream scoop on him. And I didn't like pin him or anything like that. Truthfully, he was like 5'6". This was a tiny guy. he I don't think he flew through the air, but just the fact that I hit that ice cream scoop on him, he just completely was redirected. And at that point, he came over to me, and I thought he wanted to fight. I was like, "Oh fuck, is this guy really trying to fight?" But no, he was just telling me he wanted to open up the pit, you know. But like, what I'm saying is, this in theory is not the worst thing, but you would want to tweak it a little bit. You would want to tweak this just a little bit to make it a little bit more realistic, a little bit more helpful to somebody who, especially somebody who doesn't really know what they're doing that much. It makes sense that you would think, oh well, they might not know what an underhook is, but you can show them what an underhook is, and they might get lucky enough to catch it. Somebody just trying to brace off of the shoulder here, not a big fan. I will say, right, if you do get this, you don't even have to just keep them there. You can hit that, you can frame off the shoulders and then redirect the dude. Just fucking push him off in that direction, and you can get the hell out of dodge, or you can engage him from a point where his back is going to be turned. Either one, but trying to teach this as a go-to, I'm not a big fan of it.
And then bring them even.
Zerthy says the Gracie's Achilles heel was always total disregard for basic wrestling fundamentals. Yeah, you know what? It's funny because I actually think that they were bad and good in that regard. Like, by wrestling standards, yeah, they were pretty ass. But by today's standards of we're going to slap hands, fist bump, and sit down hoping to get 50-50 so we can leg lock battle, they were pretty damn good. In the first fight that Hoist had in the UFC, I'm pretty sure he ended up hopping in with a kick, and then he shot in for a takedown. And I don't think he got the takedown. I think he shot in for the takedown. Somebody might have sprawled on him, or some weird shit happened, and he ended up on his back. But at least he shot in for a takedown. At least, So it's funny to see this where it's like, oh, well, if they had a little bit better wrestling, he'd know what to do, but he doesn't really know what to do. This is this position right here.
Again, when I step back, I don't want to step back in this position.
Just going back to it, okay? Right? This position right here is like the type of shit that you see Wing Chun guys talk about when they're trying to debunk jiu-jitsu. They're like, oh, you wouldn't want to shoot in for a takedown because here, come over here. You see them get into a position like this, and then the guy's like, see, what I would do from here is I would elbow. I'd elbow you in the spine, is what I would do. Like, this is kind of like a Brazilian jiu-jitsu version of if somebody tries to blast double you, just say no. Just be like, no, and then knee him in the head, right? It's kind of funny to see that little moment there. Anyway, let's move on. Oh, wait. It looks like they added. Oh boy. Okay, all right. So it looks like they're adding a piece to this.
Here, come with the knee strike. Then I'm gonna move out of the way in base and push his head down here, forcing his arm head down.
Oh, so you know what? He's showing an underhook right now. This is an underhook that he stepped off to take a more dominant angle on, and I mean, like, yeah, I don't have an issue with this necessarily. You see this in the Muay Thai clinch. If you get somebody who they basically allow it to happen. This is like an incredibly difficult spot to get into for Muay Thai. It's just like, why wouldn't you have immediately went to the underhook?
And pushing the arm up, going in the same motion. From the side, I can either wrap the arm up, or strike, or kick him on the head.
Yeah, and he's just gonna, first off, he's gonna allow you to twirl him. He's gonna allow you to twirl him like this.
Going in the same motion. From the side.
And then he's gonna sit there while you don't go knee on belly, while you don't go side control of any kind, and you
I can either wrap the arm up.
For some reason he really likes that standing armbar.
Or strike, or kick him on the head. Anything on that side.
Again, if you want to, like, you see right here, he has a knee on belly. I didn't even realize it a second ago. I think he actually takes it off.
or
Nah,
strike.
apparently he didn't take it off. Knee on belly is not a bad position to be in this situation if your thought is, hey, I'm trying to hit this guy. You know, you could even go, right?
From the side, I can either wrap the arm up.
You could even go this arm bar. And granted, it's not like you're going to be able to keep it as well if you let go with this arm, but you could go that arm bar and then start hitting him. You could start beating on him. And then if he tries to move, you can take this, throw it over the head, and sit back into an arm bar. Like you're good, you know. But it's just that I don't know, you know. And again, like this is supposed to be for people who don't really do jujitsu in the first place. They're just trying to learn via a VHS in 1994. So it's kind of a this whole thing is just weird, you know.
Up, or strike, or kick him on the head. Anything on that side.
Oi, kick him in the head. Oi, kick him in the head. Oi, kick him in the head. Stand up, smash the reds.
So I step back, knee hit. Come around in base. My hand will help his head down, and the other hand goes inside of the arm to help him lead him down this way. In base at all times. A strike, an arm bar, or a kick on the head.
All right,
Block.
let's go forward.
Two.
I'll review a variety of different.
Oh, okay, headlocks.
Let us now review a variety of different headlock escapes.
There's your law.
Let's suppose the person grabs you by the neck like this with one hand, and he's now trying to punch with that second hand. The first thing I want to do here is block that arm. I'm going to use both of my hands to make sure that I secure their arm enough and he does not have access to my face anymore. Once again, boys. So as soon as he grabs my neck, I'm already here blocking that arm so that he can't hit me anymore. I want to hold his arm back with that hand over the bicep. This second hand, I'm going to hold his wrist and glue it against my chest. The leg on the same side, I will step back, keeping his hand against my chest.
Where's he going?
And as I bend
Oh,
forward, I have his arm now under control in this position.
Okay, so I don't think I have that much of an issue with this. Oh well, there is one thing I will
So
say.
he grabs the neck, I will trap that arm. Hold the wrist, glue it against my chest, keep my body against him. The leg steps back, one, head down, and then lift the arm up.
I'm waiting for him to show it at a different angle.
Grabs the neck. Once I hold this,
Sure.
if you want, when you step,
So I'll just hold on. I'll just say it here, right? So I have a bit of an issue with this. It's not even necessarily an issue. Like I'm sure that works fine, but me personally, one thing I like to do, especially like it's kind of a slick way to get out of a not a side control, a half guard, right? If you're on bottom and half guard and you can catch someone's arm and you can manipulate it in this way, you can take this arm when you are back in this spot, right? And you can slide it through. So you can slide it through here and then you can grab the person's forearm, okay? And the reason I like this is because it's a little bit better leverage on the person's arm. And it's a little bit harder to get away from. And in addition to that, you can manipulate their arm in a way that's going to make it so that even the slightest movement is going to have them rolling, right? And what I mean by that is, although I don't have an issue with this right here, I think this is okay. And even it's okay even by the standard of, hey, we're trying to teach people who don't actually do jujitsu. But if you from here, right? It's actually this should look a little bit familiar to you because this is what I was talking about earlier with that punch defense thing where you put your hands here. If he suddenly and aggressively spins that way, if he goes that way, he's going to block off at least one of these legs, potentially two, and because of this guy's going to come tumbling over. Excuse me. It becomes a lot easier to do this if you have that extra leverage on this arm, because that arm is being pulled this way, therefore his body is being pulled this way. But, you know, like this right here is good. I don't have that big of an issue with this. The question is, The question is somebody going to be able to hit it the way that they need to? Because
This second hand
right,
I'm gonna
this person is not just going to be sitting here like this. They're going to be in here trying to hold on for dear life. Is what they're going to be trying to do.
hold his wrist and glue it
And
against my
are
chest.
they going to actually remember to
The
go?
leg on the same side.
You're going to see, right?
I
He
will
steps
step back.
here. Are they going to remember to actually step back to open up? Or are they going to do what every white belt does and completely skip that seemingly extraneous step that actually is not extraneous? It makes all the difference in the world, and just try to slip through the back. Chances are anybody who doesn't actually do jiu-jitsu is going to skip this step right here. And because of that, they're not actually going to hit it the way that they need to. Now, am I saying it's definitely not going to work if you don't do this step? No, I'm sure stranger things have happened, but this move right here is probably one of the more important moves in this little series that he's showing you. And most people who do this, they're not going to internalize this because it's such a small thing that people think, nah, but I mean, like, you're not even getting out. You're just moving to move so that you can then get out. That's what's going to happen with a lot of people. And I know because that's what happened with me when I was a white belt, you know. They'd show me a move that has 5 pieces to it, and I'd internalize 3 of those pieces, and the other 2 pieces I'd be like, yeah, but like that seems like it doesn't even matter. Who cares? And then I'd wonder why I wasn't fucking doing the move right. I'd wonder why it wasn't working for me, you know? That's what happens with everybody. This is actually a technique that teaches you how to scratch your own back. Ah, yes. Yes, of course. Of course. All right, let's geez. What the hell is going on here? What is happening here? I just want to see.
When you step back with this leg, readjust the base so that you don't find yourself off balance and losing your base here. Take a big step and turn your feet so that you are comfortable in base. My hip is holding him away from me, hand on my chest, and I now bend forward to bring the arm up. One last time, please. I want to control the arm. Chest. 1.
I'm just waiting to see what the next one is going to be, where we saw that little weird spot.
If the person grabs my neck on the headlock this way,
oh, so that's a
I want to
guillotine
take a
right
step
there.
forward and put both of my hands on his knee. Once again, minha cabeça para frente.
So that right there is a
As he
guillotine.
does this move, that's my first initial step. One, that's my move. I'm in base, and with both of my hands like this, bracing his knee. From this position, I'm gonna sit back, flipping the person over.
I've done something similar to that with people before. You know, it's I don't really have much to say about this. I will say that when I would do it, right, I've done it a few times. I'm not saying it's like, you know, that's my bread and butter, because truthfully, like, I don't get caught in guillotines that much. It just doesn't happen to me all the time. But that's kind of like a last ditch, like, oh, I'm in this. I'm really in this. I'm not just going to be able to power out of it or, you know, do anything else. I would take my right arm, I'd reach over, and I'd try to grab any material that I could. And then instead of going to this knee, I would take the other arm and reach under. I shit you not. Reach right in between his legs. I'd be here, and then I'd roll backwards. And I'd roll, to the best of my ability, into a side control. A side control that is going to help me to alleviate the choke enough, right? He's not just going to let go a lot of the time. A lot of time, people's panic reaction is to try and tighten up, but it's not going to be the same kind of choke that it was before. It's just going to be annoying. It's not going to be potentially deadly, you know? So yeah, I really don't have much of an issue with that.
Back, flipping the person over.
Did your sensei ever
The
spank
idea
you when
is
you
to
didn't
do
pay
this
attention in
move.
karate class? Of course. Why do you think I
From
never
this
paid
position,
attention?
I want to let my body weight fall back and keeping the hands on his knees to prevent his knee from hitting my face. So as I sit back, I keep my hand on his knee
So as I see,
so that he doesn't have easy access to
As
hit me
I
in the knee.
see,
So I
ouch.
block this, and his face is going to land on the ground. Base, I'm going to push off the front leg so that I can then drive back. Bing, that's the move. His head ends on the ground like this. So when I sit back, his head's end right here.
Oh, damn. That's what happens if you don't learn how to roll through. Is you just go
head's end right here,
right there, which is obviously pretty dangerous. We'll watch a couple more of these. You know, I'm just we'll watch a couple more of them because I am interested in this. Okay, you see this right here, this next one, this one right here. That's kind of what I was talking about with the whole bully choke thing, where someone's here and they always say like tickle the nuts, and then do this and that and the other thing, where it's like someone's not going to be present enough as to where they can do that. They're going to get put in that spot and they're going to be like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, you know.
Then we have a couple other headlocks here. If the person grabs your neck and now holds you down, he's not trying to punch this time, where I would have done this move. He's now grabbed my neck and he's pulling me down here. I want to hold him by the waist all over the arm with the back hand. This hand, I'm going to brace the knee so he doesn't hit me with a knee shot. I'm blocking that knee. This leg I'll step inside and then I'll sit right here. So the movement is 1, 2, and 3.
And that's, I've talked about this exact move a few times. Like if you end up in a situation where you are on this side of somebody, where somebody has given you that angle on them, you have this exact move every time.
And 3.
It is literally always there. It is the easiest thing to default to. And this is a move that people will like kind of figure out on their own. Right? So like this in particular, he kept it as simple as he possibly could. I don't have a big issue with that. You know, because it's like I said, a lot of people are like, slap the nuts. Say, huh, slap the nuts. Slap them. Slap them. Right? And then they're like, lift up. And it's just weird, you know? But this is the move that I was talking about, where it's like any of the other moves that he tried to show, he could have just replaced with this. But if they did that, then it would have been a little bit more one-dimensional, and because of that, they probably would have been like, "Oh, but this is not. We want to show them the jiu-jitsu. We want to showcase the jiu-jitsu is what we want." You know, like that's probably literally what they were thinking to a degree. And because of that, they're showing shit that people are not going to be able to remember. Only showing the one that people might remember almost 15 minutes into this.
From this position, I'm going to establish my base because he might want to be shaking me out of this position. I'll make a frame with the arm and then lean the weight into his neck.
Those positions always suck. My black belt is the king of doing this type of shit to you, where it's like you're in a position and he's holding you down, because my black belt has gorilla strength. It's fucking insane, you know? And he's not the biggest dude either. He's kind of a small guy, but he's just got this unnatural strength about him. And his MO is like, I'm gonna dig my chin into your back just because it makes it more uncomfortable. I'm going to use the hardest part of my elbow to pressure into you because it makes it more uncomfortable. That shit fucking sucks, you know? This is the type of thing where, like, even if you're not pulling away, the guy's going to be like, oh, fuck, okay, all right, dude, all right. He's going to let go to try and alleviate what's happening to him right there. Yep. Games Dean asked a question, right? I would assume you were referring to the guillotine, right? Dropping for a single leg is not the worst idea in the world here. However, there's nothing about dropping to a single leg that immediately will alleviate the choke unless you do it in a very specific way. And it can be tough to do. What you need to do is get your hips underneath you so that instead of being hunched over like this, you can look up to the sky. And that's going to make it a little bit easier for you to not be getting choked right in that moment. But it can still be pretty tough because the way that you're going to finish that single leg a lot of the time is you're going to have to go back to a position that's not too dissimilar to this one right now. It's just now you happen to have their leg in between your legs and you're hugging it. And that's why in jiu-jitsu they tell you, yo, don't shoot in with your head to the outside. If you know what you're doing, you can get away with it, right? If you know how to turn the corner, you can get away with it. I'm not saying it should be your go-to. I'm just saying there's ways you can shoot with your head to the outside and still be a little bit safer about it. But a single leg here, it seems to make sense because here's the leg right there. But the more time you spend here and the more time you spend in a guillotine in general, the more time you're giving him to actually finish the guillotine. So you just want to get the hell out of there as soon as you can. It's a good question. It's just not necessarily what you would want to do. Seems like it's a lot more. Oh, are they doing wall work here? They're doing fucking wall work?
With him on the outside, I'm stuck because now he's using his weight. I can't push him that way. So what I want to do here is hook this leg.
Oh, what?
One. Use the hook on the leg and walk my way around holding the hand. Getting out of this. Bam. One. Use the hook on the leg.
It's like, will that work though? Like maybe if he's not absolutely positively trying to keep you there, it might work, right? Because here's the thing. You notice, right, that this is a situation, of course, where Hoist here is not trying absolutely positively to keep him against the wall or anything like that, right? It's just not happening. I feel like somebody who doesn't know what jiu-jitsu is and has somebody up against the wall like that, they're going to turn their hips so that they're crushing more of this person's body up against the wall. I feel like that's how an untrained person would react in this situation where they were working with the wall. I feel like they'd also be really trying to pull this way, or, in this case, this way with the head. So it's a situation where it's like, yeah, I guess in theory, this kind of
is hook this leg.
Like,
one.
Like in theory, I guess. But I feel like, again, in reality, when somebody is really trying to be like, they feel your weight shift that way, so they're like, oh, they just keep on shifting to match your weight shift. I don't know if that's going to work. I don't know how well that's going to work. I just being honest, you don't see that position in MMA, right? Like you see wall work in MMA, but you don't see that position where somebody's got a bully choke on somebody in MMA. I've seen one bully choke in MMA, and it was the Ben Askren Robbie Lawler fight. That's it, and that wasn't like against the cage. So it's like I just don't know if I see this working. I got to be honest with you,
And walk my way around holding the hand. Getting out of this. Bam. Breaking down. Hold the body. Leg out. I say, hey man, leave me alone. Oh. Let's try. Hook the leg. Use your hand.
Yeah, it's just weird,
Making sure that your body is not straight up, because if I'm straight up looking this way, he can pull me back.
All right, so we'll go ahead.
If the headlock happens from behind,
you want to drop in base, making sure that your body is not straight up, because if I'm straight up looking this way, he can pull me back. I want to look down. It's very important that you're able to see your toes at this point, which will keep your body in a certain angle forward. From this position here, as he pulls me back, I have enough leverage to prevent him from pulling me back. From this position, I want to bring my head straight down between my legs, and he'll fall over like that.
You see, now this is dependent on him not having that good of a rear naked choke, or whatever you would call this. I believe they call it like a fulcrum choke or something like that, which Hoist purposefully did not apply a good one. The reality is, if you get ambushed like that, it's going to be really, really hard for you to put yourself in this position. First off, one thing you want to do is take your chin and tuck it. Because if he's across the chin, it's really going to hurt your chin, and you can break your jaw and things like that. It can happen, but breaking your jaw is not nearly as common as being choked out by something like this, right? And then in addition to that, one thing that he did do is he tried to make sure that he started hand fighting. He protected his neck with both of his arms. But right now, if Hoist was really, really trying, I don't think there would be anything that he could do. It just wouldn't have happened. And it's not just because Hoist is like extra strong or something like that. It's because look at how it gets
behind,
right?
You want to drop in there.
Again, like he purposefully stopped the arm here. You wouldn't stop the arm here. You'd come all the way back, right? And then you could go into the rear naked choke if you wanted. It's not going to work like that, you know? It's not going to work like that. Even someone who doesn't do jujitsu, maybe they watched the UFC, or they just had a wild idea one day. What would happen if I did this to somebody, right? They're not just going to apply it 75% like that. And because of that, this is just like, it immediately is disqualified. Like, yeah, in theory, if somebody got a bad one, like if you tucked your chin and you protected your neck and they didn't get all the way through, yeah, in theory, you could potentially do something like that. But it's just not going to work.
Is making sure that your body is not straight up, because if I'm straight up,
he has access to the throat
back
right now. He has access to the neck right now.
I want to look down.
Again,
very important that you're able to see your toes at this point, which will keep your body in a certain angle forward.
He is correct that you'd rather be here than being, straightened out, than being pulled backwards. But like, even now, he's just pulling down so that the arm is going into the throat more.
This position here, as he pulls me back, I'm heavy. I have enough leverage to prevent him from pulling me back. From this position, I want to bring my head straight down between my legs, and he'll fall over like that. As pernas bem durinhas, né? One. So from this position.
It's just...
You can pull
had enough of that.
It goes arm.
Had enough of that
when
shit.
When he flies, I can keep, if it is not, and use the same arm for support, so that you can stabilize your base. One is not, and he, one,
let's hit that next one.
So he can the hands around his arm.
Is this a new one?
From here, I want to rest my weight on his arm, step behind the leg, and then spin around. Be sure to adjust your base or whatever you need.
That's not going to work that way.
From here, I want to rest my weight on his arm, step behind the leg, and then spin around. Be sure to adjust your base or whatever you need, so that you don't leave your feet glued to the ground. Protecting yourself by leaning forward prevents him from...
That's just not going to work that way. He's not just going to let go when he feels you starting to turn away. He's going to clamp down more, And that's kind of an issue with a lot of these self-defense things, including, I guess, Gracie Street self-defense, is that they operate under the assumption that you're going to be able to use leverage in a way that's going to be completely and totally unable to be countered just by somebody using the natural human instinct to latch onto something that somebody's trying to take from them. It's like this pen. I'm just sitting here, writing. I see you about to reach for it. I'm naturally going to be like, oh no, like, cause it's in my possession right now. For all intents and purposes, it might as well be an extension of me. To have somebody snatch it out of my hand, that I'm going to feel, the ego is going to take a hit. I'm literally going to feel violated in a certain sense, and because of that, I'm going to clasp onto this and I'm not just going to let go. And in this case, the person who's trying to snatch something away happens to be the guy who was snatched in the first place. And Hoist over here would be like, oh, you're trying to get away? All right, okay. All right, okay. I ain't letting you get away. I want to see what the gun one is. I want to see what happens when we go to gun. Oh, wait. Oh. We we walked in on a bit of a moment here. We walked in on a bit of a moment. I want to go back to the beginning of it if we can get it. Weapon, gun. Do not practice these techniques with a real gun, loaded or unloaded. Use a toy gun only.
If the attacker reaches for something, your first move is to block the hand. You want to take a step forward and slide your hand to his wrist. Hold his wrist and then get the gun out.
And then, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that in theory. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit it's going to be a little bit messier and things like that. That's fine, but I don't have an issue with the idea of doing that, because I mean, what else are you going to do? You're going to be like, oh no, and run? Like, no, he's fucking. If you're going to fight somebody, you got to fight him, and that's a better way to do it than a lot of these other like weird little things, you know.
Your number one concern is stop the hand from moving. That's what I want to do. I want to glue his arm to his body.
Uh-oh.
From here, I'm going to step in and let my hand slide over the wrist so I can end up with a good comfortable grip around his wrist. The back arm must be high, because if I put my hand low, he might be able to pull the hand away and carry the gun with it. So you want to make sure that when you go around, your arm is high.
See, small detail, but it matters. He's not just going to be here with his hand, like, covering the gun. He's going to reach straight for the gun every time. And it's important that you understand that, because you're not going to be fighting just for the arm. You're going to be fighting for the gun itself. So everything you do has to be coming back to, where is this gun pointing? Where is this gun pointing? Is it pointing at me? Who has control of the gun right now? Is somebody able to use it? What is going on here, right? So even though I don't have an issue with this, for one thing, you have to be quick with it. You don't want to be sitting here forever and ever and ever. Like, okay, all right, and then I remember it told me to do this next, and then it told me to try that. And then it said to go over here, and then there. You can't do that. It's all got to be automatic. And again, this is the issue with these at-home learn how to fight videos, is that it's teaching you stuff that you need to absolutely positively drill. And then when you're done, drill it some more. And then after that, you go to sleep, and then you wake up the next day and you drill some more until the day that you die, basically, if you're going to be able to be good at it, right? It's this, like, I don't have an issue with this on a theoretical or technical level. My issue with it is that, for one thing, it is a little bit unreal the way that, like, you know, again, he's sitting here holding his hand over his belly like that. But then in addition to that, some nerdy kid in 1994 who lives in a high crime area bought this and was like, "Oh wow, I could totally use this. And I can definitely stop the robber next time he tries to rob me of my bus fare and my glasses and my whatever. I'm totally gonna do it." And then he goes out there, he tries to do it, and he gets his ass kicked at best, because again, it's a 4, 5, 6, 7 step move, and he can only remember one step, and it's not even the first step, you know.
High enough that it blocks the elbow from moving back from this position. From here, I want to fold this hand over and get the gun. If when I pull the hand, he lets go of the gun, I go for the weapon immediately. My main thing is to get a hold of that weapon. Once again, puxa a arma com a tua mão. If he brings the arm here, the weapon here, I want to bend the hand, fold.
I don't like that. The reason I don't like that,
I want to bend.
You're going to bend the gun in your direction. Now, it's not exactly facing him, but you have to understand that under pressure, even if you've drilled this a million times, there's a good chance that you could make a mistake. He could move in a way that alters the trajectory that you're moving that gun in. And all of a sudden, oh, oops, I'm pointing it towards my dick by mistake. Oops, I'm going to cheddar bob myself. you gotta take the gun somehow, right? And I would rather instead of trying to bend it that way, I would literally rather try and face it towards him. I would literally rather try and face it towards him and then maybe rip away.
The hand, fold.
You know, but you see, this is, he's got a wrist lock in. He's got a wrist lock in, and you know, this is one of those things where it's like, okay, in theory, wrist locks are good, but standing wrist locks, they're not. They're extremely low percentage. You wouldn't just try and go for those all the time, you know.
Get the gun out.
Like, let's see if he makes the mistake, right?
One.
Let's see if he makes a mistake.
Pull this out. Fold his wrist, and as I bring the gun towards him this way, it bends his wrist and makes it impossible for him to grab the weapon. I will pull the gun that ways.
Hold up.
Possible for him to grab the weapon. I will pull the gun that way.
You see how close that came to his own arm? You see how close it came to his own arm, right? Let's go ahead. Let's do the precise seeking shit. I don't know if I'm actually gonna find it.
Always ready to squeeze this.
Yeah, I'm not gonna find it. But you see how
it makes it impossible for him to grab the weapon.
You see how close that came? It's real easy to stay controlled and come that close to you when you're not under pressure. But when a gun is pointed at your head and you have that kind of adrenaline running through your veins, you're going to be shaky without realizing it. You're going to be indirect without realizing it. And you're going to end up fucking yourself up by mistake. It's just like, it's not something that you train out of yourself. Obviously, if you can, you do it. Right? But the only way you can really do that is to become more familiar with a gun being pointed at your face and you knowing that it's not just a training exercise, that you could actually get hurt. And I'm not telling anyone to do that. I'm saying that's really the only way that you could. You obviously should never play with loaded guns and things like that. Don't play with guns in general. But when you have to use this, it's going to be the first time that you've ever done it knowing that you could die. And because of that, you're going to be absolutely positively like crazy with it. It's going to be fucking crazy the way that you have to go. And there is a chance that you'll end up shooting yourself with something like this, you know?
I will pull the gun that ways and then end up with the weapon in my hand. Always ready to squeeze this. I'm bending his wrist against my arm back here, so that's my move. I'm
He's pointing with the gun. He's
so
pointing with the gun. There's just something funny about that.
Gun,
the way that he's pointing with the gun, he's like, and then you take the...
So, 1, 2, 3. If I hold the hand this way and try...
See, another thing that I want to highlight, right, is whenever you have to go from stationary to moving, you're at a disadvantage, right? You're at a disadvantage. I'm not saying that you always have to constantly be moving or else you're doing it wrong. You're just simply at a disadvantage. And by the time you realize that this guy is reaching for a gun and make the decision, it's going to be a lot harder for you to do this whole move. I will say that. Like here, right? I don't have a problem with this because it's as simple as just reaching your hands out, okay? Fine, that's perfectly fine. But doing this and then being able to step that way, going from stationary, that's going to be a really, really hard thing to do. It's going to be really, really hard. And I don't know if there's an alternative for it. I think the alternative would literally just be to start like running forward or something like that. I'm not saying push him. I'm saying like literally just try and get there as quickly as possible with like a step or two straight forward, maybe. I don't know. It's tough. It's like I said, it's tough because you're going from stationary to non-stationary, and this guy is not just gonna sit there like, oh, that's weird. He just put his arms on my hand. What do I do now? He's gonna try and pull away. He's gonna try and do a bunch of different shit. So it's like, even this, it's like, do I have the biggest problem with it? No, but also I kind of do, simply because Hoyce is just chilling here, and he is he's just doing some stuff that's going to be really hard to do for real, you know?
3. If I hold the hand this way and try to pull the gun that way, the natural grip of his fingers make it much more difficult for me to get the gun away from his hand. So from this position, I want to point the gun back at him. So if he pulls the trigger, he'll be shooting at himself. I have the gun pointed at him. That automatically forces to bend his wrist. Then I want to peel the gun inwards.
And you see, like that was better that time where he was like, oh, by the way, point it at yourself. Not point, what the fuck, point it at yourself. He said, oh, by the way, point it at the other guy. But then he immediately started to, you know, it's just, I don't, it's just weird, man, you know. Anyway, moving on, because I'm sure there's going to be other stuff. What the, oh, this is, nobody, no, right away, nobody's going to carry in the back of their pants like that. No one's gonna carry like that. That is the weirdest fucking way to try and put a gun in the back of your pants.
I'll do at this point.
And I think I know. I think I might know why.
Weapon, I want to take a step and put.
You see, I think the reason why is because when you put the gun like that, it's a lot easier for you to do what he's about to do, which is, I would assume either a Kimura or more likely a reverse Kimura, to try and control the arm that has the gun and also the rest of his body to use this arm as a lever. I'm predicting that that's what's going to be the case, but nobody would ever put the gun like that. They would put it with the handle facing that way, which, yes, it still requires the person to reach behind, but it doesn't require them to move their body and their arm in a way that's going to make it that much easier for you to be able to do this. I also just realized he looks like fucking Freddie Mercury. He looks like Indian Freddie Mercury.
With my base, so he can't pull me that way from here. And then I'm going to drive my arm in, wrapping his arm and lifting the elbow up.
Yeah, so reverse Kimura.
Get the gun out of his hand.
What the? Wow. Wow.
Lifting the elbow up.
Wowzers. Wow.
Get the gun.
Wow. Oh man, that is fucking bonkers, dude. Holy shit.
His hand.
Do I have to say it?
Okay, once again. So once again. 1, 2, and now I'm gonna get the gun out.
Oh my, it was even worse the second time. It was even worse the second time.
At this point, you want to make sure that when you step forward, I'm again in base. So if his hand is back there,
see, and
I want to have enough leverage on my base to prevent him from pulling me over. So that's the.
So you reach here, you try and pull him aside. It's not going to work that way. You don't have the leverage that you need. You need to close distance if you're going to make this work the way that he's trying to make it work. You need to step a lot further. You need to get your hands in a lot deeper. You're not just going to pull him into the position you want him to be in. Especially because, like I said, when somebody is being aggressed upon in that way, their first thought is to do the opposite of what you're trying to do. If they're trying to pull you that way, they want to go that way. If they're trying to take something out of your hand, you're like, no, I will hold on to this as though it was fucking, I don't know, something important. Something important. Something important.
Move I'm looking for. From here, my hands will overlap and wrap him over forward. Base, if he moves around. I want to end up with this.
Like this would look really cool in a movie.
The weapon.
This would look really cool in a movie. You know.
So as he reaches back, my hands go in here. I'm going to wrap the arm around, squeeze the arm, and get this gun out. And I still have control over his.
That's the worst one I've seen this entire time. All right. We got another one.
Now, if the attacker has a gun pointing at you, what you want to do here is pivot on the leg so that you can deflect the hand. The second hand immediately comes in and grab thumbs up over the weapon so that you can now step behind him. Wrap the arm again from underneath. Keep your head down.
He really likes this pseudo Russian position. He really likes this Russian position. I want to see how he tries to get it out now because he's a little bit closer. The angle is a little bit different. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more too.
That gun at him, which makes him bend his wrist. Holding his arm in place with my arm from behind, I will overlap the hand, peel the gun inwards, and end up with the gun in my hand.
We already went over, you don't want to ever point the gun at you, all right? But, right, this right here, so this is almost okay. This is almost okay, all right? And I'm going to tell you why. So,
what you want to do here.
First off, you would never want to like try and fight somebody with a gun in the first place, but the concepts are really what matters. The concepts and then how you're going to enact those concepts. When it comes to somebody who has a gun pointed at you, you need to redirect the gun and you need to gain control over the limb that has the gun, specifically not just the entirety of the limb, because you know, if I have a Russian tie and he still has the ability to move his wrist, he might actually be able to angle his wrist and shoot. It's more so just the hand, wrist, right? The gun itself. And some of these are adhered to a degree. The issue is how they are adhered to. So this right here, right?
Yeah, is pivot on the leg so that you can defend.
So yes, you would pivot on the leg and then you would want to also redirect the gun at the same time. But the way he pivots, in my opinion, is not a good way to do this because it's just not enough movement. It's not enough movement, right? So like basically, here's his body facing you. Here's his body now. Okay? You have a gun pointed here, all right? He just pivoted there. So at best, you're going to shoot him through what? The kidney now? You're going to shoot through the front of his body and it's if it goes straight through, right? If there's no bouncing around, because that's what a lot of bullets will do. Inside your body, depending on what they hit, they'll literally bounce around in your body. They'll tumble. Like it's gonna end up going straight through your fucking kidney. So great, I guess. I don't know. I guess it's better than getting shot in the spine. You're probably gonna die though. You're probably gonna fucking die. Now he tries his best to compensate for this by redirecting the gun, which again is the right idea. But what would have been better is if instead of just going here, he would have stepped around while he redirected the gun. And if you watch The Palace, I actually showed a gun disarm that was similar to this, on The Palace when I was on that episode with Eric and Terry Greenbeans and all the guys, right? If again, this is where the gun is at, okay, you can see this is where the gun is pointing to. You want to move around that way while you also redirect. So it's not just going to be, it's going to be here like that, if that makes sense. I'm trying to show you while I'm sitting down, and of course it's not going to work the best, but so that right there is like, okay, you're on the right track. You're not completely there though. You're not completely there. Now this next part, right?
The second hand immediately comes in and grab thumbs up over the weapon so that you can now step behind him, wrap the arm.
So I don't have too much of an issue with this, right? Specifically this, you know, it's just, this is kind of, it's just kind of a weird spot, right? It's kind of a weird spot to be in, where you're holding someone like this. I guess it could work because you do have a fair amount of leverage here, and two of your arms versus one of his arms is not going to be that good. But do you really want to take the chance of sitting here for too long? What I might do is I might completely completely adjust the direction of my body. I might take this arm and throw it around, right? And face that way. So what I mean is I'm here, right? The gun's facing this way. The gun's facing you, all right? I've moved out of the way, all right? I'm here. I might decide to go around, right? And then try to say Kimura grip here so that I have control of mainly the gun with my hands. And then the secondary point of control, which is me clamping down with my arm and my body, is on his forearm right here. And you're turning your back to the person, all right? However, the point of what you're trying to do is make sure you have control of the gun. And in that case, you can move, you can do things that are going to make it harder for him to do anything, right? Now, I talked about armchair violence a little bit, right? And one point that he makes is that if somebody grabs a hold of one of your arms, they're taking away their ability to defend against whatever you're doing. So you can just punch them and keep punching them until they either let go or until they're incapacitated in some form. And that is true, but you're not just going to sit here holding on to the gun, allowing him to punch you. Like I said, you're going to be moving around. You're going to be trying to pry the gun out of his hand in whatever way that you're able to. And you're probably going to be better off. In this case, you're probably going to be better off when it comes to the safety of it than when
thumbs
he
up
comes into
over the
here,
weapon,
right? When he
head
comes
down,
into here
point
and he's like, yeah, let's go
the
ahead and
gun at
fucking
him,
come here.
which makes him bend his wrist.
You know, and actually, now that I'm looking at it, what I was describing is not all that different from here. It's just that instead of thinking about trying to close distance and get control of the whole arm, my main concern is trying to just keep control of everything that's below the wrist, including the gun. You know, that would be my main concern in that situation. So it's weird. It's like he's on the right track here. This dude's on the right track, but he's just not in the spot that he should be. And again, it's because how much real world experience do people have with guns pointed at them where they have to disarm somebody? Even someone who's used to having guns pointed at them, they're usually not trying to disarm somebody like that, you know? It's something where they're just like, all right, I just got to pass the time until this guy lets me go. I got to pass the time until this guy decides he's going to take the gun out of my face. That's really what it ends up being. So the theory is there, but the application of the theory, the application of the foundational tenets of what he's trying to do is not that good. Plus, what he's doing is he's trying to take jujitsu and he's trying to project it onto those foundational tenets, to those concepts that come with a successful gun disarm, you know?
Holding his arm in place with my arm from behind, I will overlap the hand, peel the gun inwards, and end up with the gun in my hand.
You know, I would like to see this guy right here, right? I don't know exactly who it is. It might be Horion. It might be somebody, anybody, right? I obviously know who Hoyce is, and I don't think Hoyce is just going to be allowing somebody who's beneath him in terms of the pecking order, even if they are another Gracie, to be the one leading the thing, right? Leading the demonstration. But I would have liked to see him do this on a resistant opponent once, just once. It would have been nice, you know, but they don't. Because again, it's all just theoretical shit is really what it is, you know.
The trick of the movement is that you turn on the ball of the foot. You don't want to just hit this hand because he could pull the trigger and nick you here with the bullet. So what you want to do at this point is to pivot on the ball of the foot to make sure that you deflect the gun. Hand go in here, step in, wrap the arm, bing, hit, ding. If the person wants to grab you here, you want to hit him a couple of times.
High Priest John says if the opponent resisted, it would expose the entire thing as a sham. Exactly.
Even a headbutt, and then take him down. Pulling the gun away and completing this one.
You see, like, I don't have an issue with the whole takedown thing. You know, like, taking someone down off of that isn't bad, but you don't want to sit there forever and ever and ever, you know?
So the person is here. I want to turn, get a hold of this.
You see, and he should have stepped while he was turning. He should have been here like, whoa, hey, man, because you don't just go from here, arms down, to hook. What you want to do is try your best to convince this guy that you're about to give him what he wants, right? You're like, whoa, hey, man, yeah, whatever you want. I'm not saying you start out here and you slowly like, whoa, hey, man, hey, whatever. Yeah, no. You want to start off close. Somebody puts a gun to you like that, you're like, whoa, hey, yeah, dude, yeah, whatever you want, dude. Here, I'll get my wallet for you. That's what you do, right? He should have stepped into basically the position that he was in right away. There shouldn't have been this.
I want to turn.
It shouldn't have been turn, redirect, and then step. It should have been all that at the same time.
Get a hold of this. And as I come in, if he holds the barrel, I want to use a knee hit, a headbutt, and then bring him back. Both.
And then. And again, like, it's just too hyper specific. You know. We'll go ahead. We'll watch one more. I want to. Really? What the hell are they about? What the hell are they about to try and do here? What is going on here? Oh boy.
Gun in your hand. Let me do one last time here with this. So that's the move. 1, 2, 3. I want to use the grip on the weapon so that I can point the gun at him, which causes him to bend the wrist, overlapping my hand, and peeling the gun backwards. So that's what I have. If the person comes from behind with a gun on your back,
Just
this
give
is
me
what
your
you want to
fucking
do.
shit.
First, you want to say, hey, why are you going to shoot me? So that you can have a good sense of where the weapon is and realize which hand is he using to hold the weapon.
Hey.
Say, hey, man, don't
Hey, why you going to shoot me? If he was going to shoot you, you'd be dead right now.
step in, control the arm.
And you see, like, there is a way, quote unquote, that you could try your best to fight somebody who has a gun to your back like that, but it's just too much. It's just too much, man. You know, I wouldn't I wouldn't fight somebody who had a gun and I was facing them. I'd just be like, whatever, bro. They want my money here. Fucking have it. I don't care. You know, I don't carry cash. I'm gonna cancel my credit cards immediately. So whatever, fucking take it. You know, I'd literally be more upset about the wallet that I have than being gone than my credit cards and stuff like that, because fucking, you know, it's that was my grandfather's wallet. But like, I would especially not want to fight somebody who had a gun to my back like that. I'd literally rather just fucking, here you go, take it. That's it. That's it, you know. But here we are, right?
Weapon. Say, hey, man, don't shoot. Step in.
You see, and the thought process behind that is when you turn, he's just going to be like, what? No. See, what you want to do is you want to try to, you literally want to try your best to make your body into a surface area that's going to knock the gun out a little bit sooner. Like, literally, like, I might shrug, if I was going to turn this way, I might shrug this shoulder blade and then let this shoulder blade relax, right? Simply because there's more surface area on this side that will make contact with the gun that much sooner, that will end up knocking the gun out of the way a little bit easier, and there's less surface area to get shot on this side, okay? And like I said, it's fucking so convoluted, it's so what if, it's so crazy, I wouldn't even bother to try it. All right. In addition to that, you can kind of come here as well, be like, whoa, hey, and you can try your best to get your shoulder and your arm involved with that too, right? But it's just too fucking much, man. It's just too much. Let's go ahead and go back.
Is he
right?
using to hold the weapon? Say, hey, man, don't shoot. Step in, control the arm, step in front.
You see, here, I wouldn't want to do that. I would want to go the other way, because it's going to be easier for him if he's got a gun like this to turn it in that way than it is that way. So I would literally rather,
Say, hey, man, don't shoot.
right? Pretend he didn't go this way, he went this way. I would literally rather turn the other way so that I can get to the outside of the body, so that his body is closed off a little bit more. And then I would immediately start trying to gain control of, again, kind of a similar situation as before, where I have everything below the wrist under my control, and then we'll see what happens from there. We'll see what happens from there. Okay, whether I try and take him down, whether I just try and straight up take the gun, or if I get into a spot where I can have control of everything below that wrist, and I can start just trying to absolutely just demolish this guy with my free arm, regardless of what it is, you know. This is just it's too slow, it's lethargic, and it's just what's stopping him right now from being like, oh shit, just redirecting the gun towards you and hitting you.
Step in.
Even there, like let's see, right?
Say, hey, man, don't shoot. Step.
So, all right, cool. You have the overhook on the arm. That's fantastic. Where's his wrist right now? Even if he can't turn it in as far as he would like, he can turn it down, right? He can try his best to fucking get his arm free. It's too messy. It's too messy. It's too slow. He's not just going to let you sit there and do that.
In, control the arm, step in front of him, and then the head goes down. At this position, I put my weight on his stomach, wrap the arm, and force him to let go of the...
You see, and it's funny because this is actually a better armbar to do in this situation. you know, like I've never seen someone pull an armbar like this before. The closest thing that to this that I've seen happen is I was rolling with this guy. He was like an elite level judoka, and he ended up getting me with an armbar. I thought I was gonna be slick. I was holding on to my gi in a way where when he broke the grip, the thumb was gonna be primed for me to armbar escape, because you want the thumb this way, right? You want the thumb facing this way when you're going into an armbar. You don't want him facing that way. But me, I thought I was going to be slick and he was going to break it and the thumb was going to be facing that way and I could just armbar escape. And he immediately just changed the angle of which he was going to armbar and he got me, right? That's the only time I've ever seen an armbar like this in my entire life. But in this case, it's actually a better way to go about it, specifically because you don't want to sit back for an armbar, because when you pull that arm down, the gun's going to be up here like this, you know? So it's funny, this weird little armbar that he seems to really favor, that is like a street self-defense armbar. This one's better for self-defense on the streets. This is one time where if you actually found an appropriate time to use it, it'd be this, you know?
Weapon. So if the person comes from behind and has the gun, it's very important that as you talk to him, that gives you a sense of watching, where is he holding that gun? Which hand is he using? So, hey, what do you want? You want my money? I want to step in.
No, that's just... I don't know if there's going to be another one. Oh boy, we got to see this one. We ended up watching the whole thing. You know, we didn't get to Duolingo today. Although we'll do one or two. We'll do one or two after this, right? But this is fucking crazy here. Okay, so that is still... Oh, okay.
Another possibility is if the attacker comes from behind, has you in this position in a hostage-like situation. From here, again, I say... Hey.
If he has me in that position in a hostage situation, I'm just hoping and praying that they didn't call in the B team sniper. I am not doing anything. I am staying as relaxed as possible, because the second I start moving and he starts panicking, either one, he's going to shoot me out of just pure fear and reflex, or if there was somebody lining up a shot, they might be like, uh-oh, something's happening. They might take a shot, and I might move into the trajectory of the bullet by mistake. So, yeah, I'm not... Somebody has me in this situation, 9 times out of 10 it's because there's some kind of weird police standoff shit, and I'm not about to sit here and be like... oh, dude, all these cops are here. I'm gonna look so cool when I disarm this guy. I'm gonna look so fucking cool when I disarm him, dude. They're gonna be like, yo, dude, you should become one of us, dude. Dude, that was so badass, dude. Whoa, I'm gonna impress the SWAT guys. Is what I'm gonna do. That's the only reason you do something like this. You know, it's like an old buddy of mine. I love the hell out of this guy, but I went shooting with him once, and he tried to tell me about the safety circle. I started calling it the safety vagina, right? And it's because he tried to say that if you're ever in an active shooter situation and you do this and you do this, the cops are gonna know. The cops are going to know that you're one of the good guys, and they're not going to shoot you because you have the safety circle. You have the safety circle. And what you do is oh. So when they see you standing around like this, they're going to be like, okay, that random civilian that I don't know is one of the good guys in this active shooter situation. I just got here. I was told there's a guy with a gun. I don't recognize that guy. He looks kind of weird. He's a disheveled redhead, looks angry, and has his gun like this. I better not shoot him because I think he's probably here to help. Fucking, yeah, that's totally gonna fucking happen, you know? He got pissed off when I didn't want to play the game, when I didn't want to sit here like, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, when I just started unloading the fucking AR. When I just mag dumped the AR, he got mad at me, you know? But it was just funny. Like, the self-defense industry, especially regarding guns, whether it's dudes who are like, I'm going to disarm someone with a gun, or if it's a guy who's like, I'm going to be a sheepdog, there's wolves, sheeps, and sheepdogs, and I'm gonna be a sheepdog. And when an active shooting situation takes place in this library that I'm in right now, fucking, I'm gonna be ready because I have the safety vagina. I have the safety vagina is what I have. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't you worry, officer. I'm doing the safety vagina. That means I'm one of the good ones. I'm one of the good guys. It's like, holy fuck, you know? That's a surefire way to get pelted with lead. Exactly. Fucking exactly, you know? And this is on this, like, we haven't even seen what this is yet, but it's gonna be on the same fucking plane. I guarantee you, of something where it's like, you're gonna do something wrong. You're doing something wrong by doing this, and you're gonna get shot. If not by this guy, by Hoist Gracie. If Hoist Gracie doesn't shoot you, then the cops who are here to try and save you from Hoist are going to.
Hey man, don't do that. My hand's gonna come in, grab the wrist,
fuck.
and then twist
Fuck
the wrist,
no,
peel
dude.
the gun out. I have the
Oh
weapon.
no. Oh no. Oh no, dude. No.
So it's this move.
Never do
The
this.
hand comes in, holding the barrel away, so that he can't point the gun at me anymore.
Oh,
That's what I
dude.
want.
Oh no. Never do this. This is easily the worst one. If not, it's up there with some of the worst ones we've seen. Again, when you have a gun pointed at you, the adrenaline that goes is going to be unlike anything you've ever experienced before. Even if you've been in a fist fight, the adrenaline that you experience is going to be 10 times that. It's indescribable. The things that are going to be going through your head at a moment's notice, and you're not even going to know they're going through your head. Your heart rate's going to be increased. You're going to be shaking, adrenaline, everything's crazy, right? You're not going to be able to go, yeah. It's going to be slap the gun by mistake, over push by mistake. So now the gun is behind your head. Then you're going to try and pull that way. It's not going to be, it's going to be, oh, fucking shit. That's what it's going to be. And that's just time, and then some more time for this guy to fucking shoot you. And then on top of that, I want to see what happens, right? I want to see.
It's this move.
Okay, again, all the way down here. Like, even if you were going to do this, why would you want your hands to be all the way down here? You'd want to be like, whoa, hey, yeah, dude, whatever you want. Please don't shoot me. 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 You'd want your hands up here like, dude, please don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. And then you'd go, right? If anything, if you really wanted to do this, one thing I guess you could try to do, but again, why would you ever try to do this? I'm not telling you to do it. I'm saying, like, I feel like this makes more sense than what this guy's doing. Instead of being like 1, 2, you could be like, oh, dude, please don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. What? You could maybe try and go underneath and pull forward. Maybe. You might be a little bit better off there. You know? You'd have better control of the gun, I would assume, right? But hands down here, whoa, don't shoot me, do not. I want to go home to my wife and kids, to minha marida e I forget what children is. I don't think it's niños or anything like that, but I want to go home. I want to go no casa. Fucking, I'm having too much fun with the Brazilian thing. Anyway, fucking, like, bottom line, like, you wouldn't sit here like this, all right, and be like, oh, that'd be awful. You'd probably, I'm not telling you to do this, you'd probably be better off trying to get out there, you know, but never, fucking never, you know, man, you know.
The hand comes in, holding the barrel away, so that he can't point the gun at me anymore. That's what I want. The second hand comes on the inside, gets a hold of his wrist.
Look at Hoist's face right now. He's just looking like confused. He's got like an Islam Makhachev kind of face on right now, where he's like, huh? You know?
At this point, I can put my thumb on the...
He's having a crisis of conscience. He's like, Dad, I don't think this will work. I don't think this will work. I think we will die if we try this. I don't know if we should be telling people. We should not be telling people.
The trigger guard to give you a better grip, more torque. So from here and here, I'll take one step back. Be sure you don't bring the gun in front of you. Keep that barrel away, so that when you torque the hand
thanks.
and the wrist on the gun, he has to let go, and now I have the weapon.
Man. I keep telling myself I got to go back to past streams and I have to cut out videos. I've been slacking majorly on that. I've just been streaming so much that by the time I'm like, hey, I should cut out stuff. I should make stream clips of last stream. Well, last stream was actually 3 streams ago, and I'm at a point where I'm like, nah, let's just keep moving forward. But with the lack of streams, with the lesser amount of streams that I've been doing, I should be able to do that a little bit more. Some stuff from the Sunday stream I got to cut out. I got to cut this down and make this into a video because there's no fucking way I cannot make this into a video. I have to make this a video, because this is just too much. This is just too fucking much, dude. This is insane. I'm going to get up real quick. I'll be right back, okay? I'll be right back. I just want to go say hello to my wife real quick. All right. All right. So, excuse me. That was just fucking crazy, Anyway, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of Duolingo. We're gonna do Portuguese and maybe we'll do an Irish one. I'm prioritizing Portuguese a little bit because I'm gonna use Portuguese more in my life. But then in addition to that, like I said, I want to be able to have conversations, even if it's just basic ones, with my mother-in-law when she gets here. I want to be able to talk to her for real, not have to go through my wife and be like, tell her I said. Describe what's around you. Lesson 1 of 5. I hope they do. I hope they do streaming on the Fish Tank site again soon. Fucking let's. Yeah. Yeah. I was just curious what would happen if you went to the site. Damn, 1,000 people online. That's quite a bit for off season, considering nothing's really happening. That's pretty good. That's pretty fucking good, Anyway, I'm gonna see what people say when I say hello. I'm just gonna say hello to everybody. Anyway, teach the fish tankers Portuguese. E aí, como você está? Tudo bem? Sorry, I'm just now I'm talking shit to Abby because she's chilling in the thing. All right, we'll get started on that in a second. Yeah, but I was saying I hope they do streaming on Fish Tank again soon because I want to I want to go back there because there's a lot more freedom on there than on here, I love those things and that stuff. People are playing AoE, huh? Might have to jump in there after this. We're gonna do a thing or two. We'll go ahead and we'll see. But anyway, All right, so select the matching pairs.
leite,
Leite, milk.
cachorro,
Cachorro, that's dog. Meu cachorro. Snoopy. Snoopy. Vem aqui. Meu cachorro. Bicha.
mulher,
Mulher. Woman.
e
E. And.
A casa,
A
casa,
casa. That's the house. I almost hit run by mistake.
carro,
Car.
cachorro,
Cachorro. Is it cachorro or cachorro? Nah, it's cachorro.
bola,
Bola.
casa,
Casa.
eu tenho uma bola.
I have a ball. Or, bola.
Bota, bola,
Yeah. The ball and the dog. Bola. I'm pretty sure there's I'm pretty sure it's one of these. Ah, I did it. I even got the squiggly right.
a mulher, o homem,
The woman and oh no wait, no, it's not and, it's just the man. The girl.
Ah,
menina.
menina. Eu tenho cachorro.
Eu tenho. Oh, duh. I got it right. I just fucked up the conjugation is all I did. Because tang is you have, tango is I have. That was dumb of me. I knew better than that too. The woman, the man,
mulher, o homem,
O homem, a mulher,
o homem. O homem. A bola e o
cachorro,
The bread. O pau. Hell yeah. Carro. O carro.
cachorro e uma bola.
Write this in English. A dog and a ball. Oh, maybe.
Bola.
Oh, I did get bola wrong.
Bola, bola.
It doesn't have a squiggly, I guess. Oh well.
Tem cachorro e uma bola.
I have a top. I have a dog and a ball. Hell yeah. No, yeah.
Eu tenho cachorro.
Tenho cachorro. Hell yeah. Damn, that's the first one in a while I haven't 100%ed. And it's because I was dumb. Because I was being dumb about it. All right. Start it up. Select the matching pairs.
Casa,
Casa. House.
ela,
Ela. She.
cachorro,
Dog.
chave,
Chave. Okay, chave.
ele é um
chave.
menino. Ele,
She is, no, not she, he is a man. You see, it can be a little weird because ele is he. Ele is he, which is a masculine. But my Spanish instincts tell me that anything that isn't an O is like not necessarily masculine, you know? It could be like gender neutral or something like that. So, ele and ella, you know, ele is he, ella is she. So it's like, you know, it would almost be like lo or some shit like that. You know, that's what I would expect. But, you know, he is a boy.
chave,
Oh, fuck. He, yeah, nos would be we, you know, as in like nosotros. which I don't know if that's exactly the way it is in Portuguese, but that's how it was in Spanish. You know, it'd be like nosotros vámonos. We go. Anyway, ele.
O gato e o cachorro.
O gato. Gato. Cat. The cat and the dog.
Ela tem uma casa.
I figured out a way to flirt with somebody is to call them gata or gato. You would say você é gata, you know. You guys want to get with Brazilian chicks, you hit them with that, they'll be like, oh, and then they'll try and speak for real. You see, here's the thing, right? You can sometimes have an inside track as a white guy, as a gringo, with Latinas, if you just know that much about their culture. Because you'll say, what's it called? Like, você é gata, you know? Or like, você é gostosa. And they'll be like, oh, huh, you know, Portuguese. And either A, you have to be like, a little bit, not a lot, a little bit, you know? Or they'll try and speak it to you, and you might have a bit of an embarrassing moment where you have to be like, oh, man, that's, you caught me. Oh, man, you caught me. That's the only Portuguese I know. Man, I only know how to flirt that one way. Yeah, right? Fucking, I look dumb, don't I? And they might actually think it's really fucking cute, you know? Like, my wife absolutely loves when I speak Portuguese to her, especially if I didn't teach it to her. If she didn't, I taught her Portuguese. If she didn't teach me what I said, she'll think it's adorable, you know? And you'll get plenty of, like, Brazilian chicks who are like, oh, that is so cute. That is fofo. Say a fofo, you know. So you guys are welcome. That's a free one. That one's for free. All right. She has a house. She has a house. Ele. So yeah, that'd be ela. Ela é uma mulher. You know, she is a woman.
O gato tem uma chave.
Chave. I forget if that has the squiggly over it. Oh yeah, you guys know what a circumflex is, by the way? You guys want to know what a circumflex is? I'll show you. I think anything with, like, you know, the like that shit over it, these, I'm pretty sure it's all considered to be circumflexes, but if you see the weird like triforce, the weird triangle thing over the E's and shit like that, like in the word você, right? It would be I believe it's this right here. You see the weird little thing over that? That's a circumflex. And that's why the Circumflex Fight Club shirts that I put out have that, you know, thing over there, because that's what a circumflex is. The more you know, the more you know. But it is Damn. Oh, wait, fuck. No. I'm having a hard time with this one because I think they threw me for a loop here where it's like I don't actually know either that or I just spent so much time talking about other shit that I completely forgot. But it is It's wrong. It's gonna be wrong. Oh shit. Oh, okay. All right. You see, like I thought it was that's another thing from my Spanish instincts as well. Is Spanish is, I'm not saying it's more developed necessarily, but the sentences are a little bit more developed. You know, like uma chave. That's like such a weird thing for a Spanish speaker to like speak like that. You know. But, you know, it is what it is.
Ele tem uma chave.
Chave.
Chave. Chaves. Ele tem uma chave.
Yeah.
Chave.
I shouldn't even have needed that because it's uma. It would have been umas chaves or some shit like that. The cat and the dog.
O gato é
O
o cachorro.
Cerveja. She is a woman and I am a girl. Ela é uma mulher e sou uma menina. You see, an a and so are the same. They both mean I am, or well, not I am, but to be, and it's more permanent than esto, right? Esto and um you know, whatever the conjugation, whatever the infinitive for so and a is, they're the same but they're different because one of them is more permanent, you know. Eu sou ruivo, right? I am a redhead. I'm always going to be a redhead unless I shave my fucking head, and even then it's like, well, technically I'm still a redhead. I just don't have any hair right now. Eu estou com fome, right? I am hungry. I am with hunger. It's temporary, right? At least, and knowing me, I'm sitting here going on this explanation of the semantics and things like that. It's going to be wrong, but oh no, got it right. You see, part of understanding a language is understanding how it works. You know, if you don't understand how it works, you're just memorizing words, and learning a new language is always going to partially be just memorizing words. But on the flip side, it makes it easier to just memorize the words if you kind of know how they work. Because when you know how they work, all you need to do is learn the infinitive, and you're able to conjugate it in all these different ways and stuff like that. You know. So it's easier to make it work that way. Anyway, he has the key.
Ele tem
Or ele tem a
chave.
You see, and then you have weird little things where it's like, this is, you know, technically gender neutral, but you're using a. She has a cat. Ela tem gato. Ela tem gato. I feel like that might be a little bit weird. Oh, all right, cool. There's just something about how ela tem sounds. I don't know. Write this in Portuguese. She has a house. Ela tem uma casa. Yeah. He has a car. Ele tem carro. We did it. We did it, boys. We did it. We done did it. We done did it. All right, so you can't say I didn't get to any Duolingo today, all right? You see, what happens is, like, for one thing, I want to do Duolingo because of the reasons that I stated, but then in addition to that, like, it's something to do on stream other than just sit here and be like, yeah, so, but I found something that seemed a little bit interesting. So I was like, hey, why don't we take a look at this? And we ended up spending an hour and a half to 2 hours talking about it, you know. So you know, it happens, but you know, I want to keep on doing my shit. Use polite phrases, jump here. Nah, I'm all set. I want to go through because I want to really make sure that I'm learning. But anyway, yeah, so I think I'm going to head out. All right. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate the hell out of you guys, as you know. The fish tank review video should be out tomorrow. I finished it today, but by the time I finished it and it was done rendering and stuff like that, I had to leave to go to the gym. And I'm just getting back now, and I'm not gonna release it at 11 p.m. on a Wednesday. I think I'm all set on that. But yeah, I will catch you guys later. All right, peace out.